What if I told you that at 39 years old, Novak Djokovic moves like he's 25? Not because of luck, not because of genetics, but because his body operates on completely different rules than every other athlete you've ever watched. While Rafael Nadal retired with chronic pain, his foot literally crumbling under degenerative disease, while Roger Federer needed 3 knee surgeries in 18 months just to walk without limping, Djokovic has missed only 3 Grand Slams due to injury in his entire career. 3. Nadal missed 17. So here's the question. What did Djokovic engineer inside his body that the greatest athletes in history couldn't? The answer starts with complete physiological failure. January 27, 2010. Australian Open quarterfinals. Djokovic is destroying Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. He's up 2-1. He just crushed him 6-1 in the 3rd set. And then his body shuts down. He vomits during a bathroom break. His breathing becomes shallow and desperate. Over the next 45 minutes, he wins only 4 more games before retiring from the match. Roger Federer called him disappointing. Analysts questioned his mental toughness. But this wasn't a mental breakdown. This was an immune system at war with itself, happening inside his muscles. Since he aged 13, Djokovic suffered chronic nasal congestion, constant bloating, mid-match energy crashes. Doctors thought it was asthma. He even had nasal surgery. Nothing worked. So what was destroying him from the inside? Gluten, not celiac disease, gluten sensitivity, a condition where your immune system treats gluten proteins like invaders, triggering inflammation throughout your entire body. Think of inflammation like rust spreading through a car engine. It doesn't break the machine immediately, but it weakens every part, every movement, every function. His doctor identified it using a controversial method. He had Djokovic hold bread against his stomach and tested his arm strength. Was it pseudoscience? Probably. Did it work? Absolutely. In March of 2010, Djokovic eliminates gluten completely. Within 2 weeks, then 11 pounds of inflammation gone. Energy restored. 17 years of congestion vanished. And then came 2011. 70 wins. 6 losses. He beat Nadal 6 times in finals, including on clay, where Nadal had never lost to him before. 3 Grand Slams. 41 match-winning streak. Removing inflammation unlocked his true ceiling, but inflammation was only the foundation. The real secret lives in how his body bends. There's a viral image from Wimbledon 2021. Djokovic lunges so deep, his body forms a perfect split while hitting a forehand winner down the line. Commentators call him Spider-Man. But here's what most people don't understand. Flexibility without strength just gets you injured. What Djokovic has is something rare. Think of a suspension bridge. The cables don't just hang there. They distribute weight evenly across the entire structure. No single point bears all the force. That's what his body does. When he stretches into impossible positions, the force spreads across his entire system instead of concentrating in one vulnerable joint. Here's the brutal truth about aging. After 30, your body produces 1% less collagen every single year. Your tendons stiffen. Your connective tissue loses water. Your ligaments become brittle. This is why Federer's knees failed, why Nadal's foot disintegrated. Djokovic defied this through training most athletes never attempt. When you lower a weight slowly, your muscles lengthen under tension. This stimulates the exact type of collagen that keeps tendons strong while improving flexibility. Most athletes choose one or the other. Strength or flexibility. Djokovic engineered both. Heavy resistance training, isometric holds, wall sights, split squats to maintain tendon strength and power. Then 90 minutes daily of aerial yoga and loaded stretching to preserve tissue elasticity. It's like maintaining a rubber band that never loses its snap. But there's one movement innovation that changed everything. For decades, sliding on hard courts was considered impossible. Clay courts have low friction. You can slide easily. Hard courts are like sandpaper, 3 times the resistance. Yet starting around 2010, Djokovic mastered something physics said shouldn't work. He slides on hard courts, and this might be his greatest advantage. When most players stop, they plant their foot and break instantly. The impact time is 0.2 seconds. All that force slams directly into the knee joint in one violent moment. Imagine jumping off a roof and landing with locked knees. That's what their bodies experience dozens of times per match. This is exactly how ACL tears happen. But when Djokovic slides, everything changes. Impact time extends to 0.35 seconds or longer. The force spreads out over time instead of concentrating in one instant. Think of it like airbags in a car crash. The longer the impact takes, the less violent the collision. Faster movement, lower joint damage. And here's what nobody calculated. Djokovic learned this as a child. He grew up at Kopaonik, Serbia's largest ski resort. His father, aunts, uncle, all professional skiers. Skiing demands unrestricted hip mobility, perfect balance, ankle stability under sideways force. Every advantage Djokovic has, the hip rotation, the footwork, the movement patterns, was programmed into his nervous system before he ever picked up a racket. It's like learning perfect piano technique at age 5 versus trying to fix bad habits at 25. But even perfect movement can't explain what happened in 2024. June 4th, 2024. Djokovic undergoes knee surgery, removal of damaged cartilage. Standard recovery timeline: 6 to 8 weeks before competitive sports. Djokovic's timeline: 35 days from surgery to Wimbledon finals. 35 days. Every orthopedic surgeon said it was impossible. Day 1 through 7. He spends 70 minutes daily in a pressurized oxygen chamber. This forces oxygen into his blood plasma at 10 to 20 times normal levels, accelerating tissue repair and reducing inflammation. It's the same technology used to treat severe burns and radiation damage. Day 8 through 14. Blood flow restriction training. He wraps bands around his legs while doing low-intensity exercises. This tricks the muscle into thinking it's under heavy load, triggering growth hormone release without stressing the healing tissue. Day 15 through 20. Progressive movement, balancing, walking, hopping, lateral drills, court play. Day 24. Full practice match. Day 35. First round Wimbledon. Day 39. Wimbledon final. The medical community was stunned, but here's the crucial detail. Djokovic didn't just follow doctors' orders and hope for the best. He measured everything: heart rate variability, sleep quality, inflammation markers, movement patterns. When something worked, he doubled down. When it didn't, he eliminated it immediately. This is empiricism without emotion, testing without attachment. Most athletes train like artists, guided by feel and tradition. Djokovic trains like an engineer, guided by data and results. So what happens when you combine childhood movement patterns, inflammatory control, elastic strength training, and optimized recovery into one system? You get an athlete who, at 39 years old, still moves like he's in his mid-20s. Not because breaking is impossible, but because he built a body where the forces that destroy most athletes get absorbed and distributed before they ever reach the breaking point. While Nadal's body accumulated damage from chronic overload, while Federer's knees succumbed to 25 years of explosive stress, Djokovic distributed force across his entire system through sliding. He eliminated inflammation through diet. He preserved flexibility through eccentric training. He accelerated recovery through oxygen therapy and restriction training, layer by layer, system by system. At 39, Novak Djokovic isn't defying aging. He's proving what's possible when you treat the body like an engineering problem instead of a genetic lottery. And that might be the most dangerous advantage of all. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Even the most perfectly engineered body can't escape external forces beyond your control. Djokovic built a system to prevent internal breakdown. But what happens when the environment itself becomes the threat? Courts heating to 156 degrees Fahrenheit. Brain blood flow dropping 30%. Hallucinations mid-match. Players collapsing. Others saying, "I thought I could die here." This isn't dystopian fiction. This is the Australian Open every single January. While Djokovic engineered his body to distribute force and eliminate inflammation, thousands of players face a different adverse enemy. Extreme heat that attacks the brain, destroys proprioception, and creates injuries that seem to come from nowhere. If you want to understand the invisible force that can destroy even the most optimized athlete, check out our video on how extreme heat turns tennis courts into survival challenges. Because no amount of preparation can save you if you don't understand what heat does to your nervous system. The link is in the description.